Hey guys, welcome to Plan and Order. If you're new here, thank you for joining me, and if you are not new here, thank you for continuing to watch my videos. I greatly appreciate it. I wanted to take some time and go over the new homeschool planner that I planned out for next year. I mean, it's not dated, so it's for whenever, but I plan these for myself and then I share them. They're on sale on Amazon, and then the printable version is on sale on Etsy. But when I say next year's planner, it's just because this is what I created for myself for next year. And if other people like the layout or whatever, then I make it available to all. So if you are not new here, you might already have seen a couple of my videos. You know, last year's planner, this year's planner, because we're still in this year for 4th grade. This was the theme, and I don't want to go through like everything on the inside because there's some personal stuff in there now that I've, been utilizing it. But essentially, let's see. You can see the monthly. And I reverse plan in here. I forward future plan on Trello and reverse plan in here to see to notate what actually really did happen. And then there's also just more reflection. So going into the month, I have more reflections and goals and stuff like that, where that's not necessarily something that I keep in Trello. So for this upcoming year, 5th grade, we went the forest route. I was kind of trying, thinking of something that presents tranquility to me. That's always the forest, camping, the ocean, just being in nature, really brings me peace. So that was kind of the vibes for this year's theme. That was the inspiration. And so all of them start out the same. This is a sticker that is not going to be if you were to get it on Amazon, that would not be there. They start with a little quote. I have subscriptions and memberships, digital purchases, and what I need to set up in the beginning of the school year. General prep and to-dos. Then this is where I capture. I homeschool through a charter. This is where I capture the instructional funds and what we do with them, and then what her extracurricular schedule will look like. So when will she have chess class or horse riding or whatever she's doing for her extracurriculars, this is where I capture where. And I have one spread for the first semester and then one spread for the second semester. Again, kind of going more with the charter's calendar. Which is why I started creating these, to be honest with you, because I couldn't find any homeschool books that kind of went along with the charter. And I know charter homeschooling is taboo for so many people out there, but it works for my family. And honestly, I don't even know if we would be able to do it without. We could do it. I didn't think I'd be able to homeschool while working full time, but I make it work, right? But we enjoy going through a charter for so many reasons that I'm not going to make this video about it. But yeah, this planner reflects things that might be more helpful or useful if you charter homeschool, because if you don't, you might not even use these pages, or maybe you do, because maybe you come up with your own budget for homeschooling and use these for that. I don't know, but just giving you insight of when I created this, why the layout is what it is. Okay, then what do we got? Okay, so this is new. Every year I update the planner a little bit because I reflect of, I really could have used some pages for this, or this I really didn't use, so maybe take this out. So one of the things I added was I wanted a page that actually captures curriculum that I'm researching and considering, and then an area that kind of I can put the shortlisted curricula that I'm looking at for the for this year. So this would be for 5th grade. So I have, curriculum that I was looking at for 5th grade, and then I have further researched it and shortlisted some of these. And, what is some things about the curriculum, or, maybe what I'm looking for. It really depends, how you want to use this part. But I was looking at it like, for example, my PAL Science, it's more teacher-led. There are definitely parts that are independent. I needed to research it more. Then I ended up choosing it for the year after I researched it more. So this is something we will be doing in 5th grade. And that's kind of how these pages are laid out, the shortlisted curricula. Then I have final picks. Now, some of the final picks, let me see. All of these final picks, all of them, none of them were on the shortlisted curricula section, and that's because I don't need to research it. These are things that she used in 4th grade that they're huge wins for us. EIW, she's been using for years, and we know we're going to do it next year. So it's a final pick. Like, there's no need to even research it. So then I list out, what do I need from this curriculum? Okay, so, I need the online access. I need the student workbook, the teacher workbook, and the assessments. And then I mark if I need them or if I have them. And I put the date if I've ordered them. So Math with Confidence, I just ordered them because they're doing a big sale right now. And when I get them, then I'll mark off have, but this tells me I already ordered them. And then you have weekly curriculum schedule. So then I would lay out the curriculum that we're using, how many lessons it has, how many lessons I want to do per week, and what days I want to do those lessons on. Let me see. Last year, okay, so last year, oh my goodness, all my notes. And I still do post-it notes on everything. So this is kind of what it ends up looking like. So handwriting, I wanted to do 3 lessons a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Subject, I put WU, that means warm up. So that means when she first wakes up, she has a warm up section in her day where she does handwriting, poetry, word of the day. She has a binder where she does calendar work. She practices certain things like memorizing her address, memorizing our phone numbers, and then chores. And then on Friday, she has some educational games that she can play during the warm-up time. And grammar and writing, EIW, 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday. And so this is kind of how I break down when she'll be doing the lessons. And then semester 1, semester 2. Monthly learning connections. So monthly themes, topics, and field trip ideas. So this has changed a little bit from last year. Maybe I should just leave this pulled up. Okay, and you can see I even had a post-it note of things that I wanted to change in the new planner, and that's basically what I did, because this was just themes and holidays. And so this is where I would capture, the themes and holidays. It says it in the title. But what happened is there would be certain months I knew we were going to cover something, and I would think like, oh, well, that would be when we would do a field trip regarding that. So when we were going over the missions, well, that would be a good time to go to the missions, right? Because we live in California where the missions are. So then I was like, I want to make sure to capture field trip ideas and maybe life lesson stuff in here too that might reflect a certain season, right? So for this year, or for next year, that's what I did. So it's monthly themes, topics, and field trip ideas. So then I can kind of just look and see, you know, the holidays coming up, the field trips that are coming up, you know, based on whatever topics we're teaching during that month. Okay, then we have year at a glance. This is my charters year at a glance, what I use as like my basis attendance tracker. Then you get into the months. So we start in August, we end in May, going off of the charters calendar. So all these numbers, these are stickers I put in here. This, if you were to purchase this, it would be blank. So again, you can use this whenever. This would be blank. The numbers would be blank. Then I have a monthly plan and reflect page. So for the very first month, we have hopes and intentions for this year because we don't have anything necessarily to reflect on for the very first month. Then we have goals, we have notes. Then after you get past the monthly part, there's some more areas for writing, reflection, weekly planning, and to-dos. Okay, so if you're going to have a theme for the week for something, you can write that up there. To-dos, you can write that here. You can write anything here. Health topics or life skills is kind of what I use this section for. And then if we're going to go on a field trip, where we're going, is it somewhere where we have a membership? Is it somewhere that's going to cost? Is it somewhere that's free? I kind of keep track of all that. And then you get into your weekly things. Again, this is a sticker with the number. Week 1, I keep track of the materials and the books needed for the week, the spelling words. I bubble in M if they've mastered it, P if they still need practice, and then I'll move it forward to the following week if they still need practice. Vocabulary words. This is new. I didn't have vocabulary words. I actually would write them down in my other planner, but I didn't have a designated section for them. Blackboard work. This is also new. I was learning that it made my life a lot easier when I could plan out whatever I was going to have to write on the blackboard. I mean, we don't have like a designated homeschool room where we live, and so we don't have like a big blackboard on the wall or anything like that. But still, like, we have a couple whiteboards, and having them prepped in advance is very helpful for me during the day when trying to, you know, maintain work and homeschooling and everything. So there's a new section for that. And then this is just like in my other planners. You know, you can do these however you want. How I use them is I put a date up here, I put the subjects along here, and then I fill in what they're going to be doing. I've seen some people use this sort of layout, like each, you know, child gets a column or a row, and they do it that way. But I just use it like subject and then what we're doing. Then you get to go into the next week. So then now you have reflections for the week. So what worked well, what didn't work well, what we need to adjust, and then it goes into the same rhythm as before as you're planning for the week. Now you're in week 2, and so on and so forth. Okay, so, and it's rinse and repeat every month, every week. And then in the very back, I have a reading log, and sometimes I use a page for a reading log for her reads, and sometimes I use a page for my reads, because, you know, I constantly am reading stuff to better professional development and, you know, better teach and better learn myself, so I can continue to teach her. Year reflection. Then I have starting to brainstorm the curricula for the next year, which would be 6th grade in this case when I get to these pages. And that's the end of the planner. And so yeah, I have this available on Amazon. It is pricier than I would have liked to make it, to be honest with you. That's because it's in color and it's so thick. I also have it on Etsy for far cheaper, but then again, you're using your own ink and your own paper, so there's still going to be, you know, costs associated with that. I personally just like having it bound and ready to go for me. And yeah, that's how I use these planners. And the truth of the matter is like I reverse plan on these, but a lot of the stuff that I capture, I actually do digitally via Trello or OneNote. But for whatever reason, I just can't let go of pen and paper completely. So there's that. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you're having a good day. Thank you for watching. Bye.